Fred Dibnah and his team have reached the Black Country on their grand tour of Britain's industrial past. They parked their engine up at the Black Country Living Museum here in Dudley last night, and they're going to visit a chain maker here.
Where's that come from?
Their journey has brought them here because this used to be the centre of chain making, and chains form an important part of the engine.
Our engine's actually steered by chains. We've come here to the Black Country Museum to see a gentleman making chains in exactly the same way as this chain would have been made in 1912, without any fancy electric welding or anything like that.
Why was it called the Black Country?
Well, as well as making lots of chains and big anchors like these, they dug a lot of coal for fire the furnaces. But it weren't very far down, you know, and it were all like the pillar and stall method. And of course, they left a lot of pillars of coal in that eventually set on fire. And of course, there was smoke coming out at ground and all of that sort of thing. Yeah. And it were not a very nice place to live. But all that's over with now, you know. There's not so much of the Black Country black anymore. By the end of the 19th century, the Black Country were world famous for the ironwork that they made. And of course, chains were one of the main things, you know, but they made everything from chains for Titanic, big links this thick, to teeny little chains, you know, for tiny dogs at railings, And Jeff over here, who I've known for quite a few years now, in fact, he once had me make a link for a chain. It weren't joined onto the chain, though, you know, it was just a link. Oh, beautiful, that, Jeff.
How you doing, all right?
How many links have you made since I last come seeing you?
I'll give up counting. First on the bandits, I think counting them.
Yeah. You know, I bought some modern chains the other day. They charged me 112 quid. I think 212 quid, I think it was, for 2 pieces of chain about that long. That's all it amounted to. You know, and I never thought I could have come here, you know, and got it for half the bloody price no doubt.
You'd probably have to have more still rather than raw tire.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter, you know, it's not really
Oh, it still does the job, yeah.
What's biggest you can do, like on...
The biggest I could work on this, 15, 16. I mean, the biggest I know of on the big files was 6.5 inch diameter.
Well, that's really big, though, isn't it?
And that's when you were swinging hammers like that one.
Yeah, do it. With 2 handles.
That's it, 2-man hammers, 28 pounders to 56 pound.
Yeah.
3-man hammers about 140 pound.
Yeah, I once seen this archive film making an anchor. There must have been about 7 of them with an hammer each. Yeah. And a load of million sledgehammers all beating it, and it were going less and less and less. And it were quite lopsided, you know, and I thought, how are they going to get it back like? And then another bunch of lads appeared with lumps of like 2-inch bar all sparking on the end. And they each individually shoved them in and bang, bang, and then another guy come and cut the end off. All with the round swages, they beat it all in.
And the split second time in superb.
Yeah, all them men will be dead, won't they? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's what this country was made on.
Yeah.
Time for a demonstration. Alf and Jimmy are impressed.
I tell you what, it's quick.
It's quick. I've no doubt there's a lot of skill in that.
It was all done this way at one time.
And women were involved in it, I believe. You know, like a little family business, like.
That's another done. Quick. We'll go and get tailing, Jimmy. Are you going to go with chip shop?
Right. Yeah, well, this is just the job, isn't it?
For Jimmy.
Not too many customers.
He's gone for chips, he'll not be a minute, I don't think.
Hey.
Oh,
it's all right.
Best fish and chips in the country.
Oh, you soon managed that, didn't you? Is these mine?
Whichever.
Thank you. Hey, this is like the old-fashioned style, isn't it? In a 3-cornered bag made of newspaper.
Smell good, don't they?
Oh, they're lovely, these, aren't they?
Bloody hot.
Good ale, fish and chips, and a lovely play. Like what the world's left behind, you know. But half of them men in London, fancy bloody suits on and the fancy shirts and all that, are long for this, really. They might make a lot of money, but the bloody stress of it all must be terrible.
What, they're long for eating shirts with oily fingers?
They've never had such pleasure. Can you play piano, Jimmy?
I could play a bit.
Playing the piano in a pub is a thing I've always wanted to do. It's weird. Like my mum used to do it, and she always used to say, why don't you go and have piano lessons, you know? Never did. When my mum died, I was about bloody 10 quid for the piano, you know. That was right, beautiful thing, mum. She polished it every day, you know. Jeff, the chain maker, though, the speed which his hands work, it's really fast.
I think everywhere we've been's been interesting, hasn't it? Every single place.
Well, have you learned, Fred? Nothing. You knew it all before.
No, I have. I've learned bits of things, you know. I'm trying to think what I've learned and what I've
You
not
all
learned.
seem to be telling these other people how to do their jobs.
Yeah, well, it's, you know, I mean, the guy at the Severn Valley Railway didn't know about bananas, did he? I was just going to say, what are you laughing at? Bananas in
Banana
boiler
oil.
making are very important bits. If you put grease on it, starts corrosion off, you know, and an old boiler maker, he said, job it all around the tube plate, and when you're banging it in, they don't pick up, you know, like it's as though you put grease on. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but it worked. I mean, now, maybe Mr. Brunel, if he'd have known about bananas, he might have got the Great Eastern in the water.
Into the water quicker.
Yeah, you never know. Right. Copper was used in great abundance for the manufacturing of locomotives and all sorts of other types of steam engines. The high-pressure steam pipes are all made from copper, and the bearings and the fancy bits, you know, the nameplates and all such as that, are of course made from an alloy of copper and tin and lead mixed together, you know, non-ferrous metal for making such things.
And on the next stage of their grand tour, Fred and his team are going to see a mine where a lot of the copper for a traction engine like this would have come from. It means there's a long journey ahead as they travel from Dudley in the West Midlands right across North Wales to Amlwch on the Isle of Anglesey.
Before the Industrial Revolution, Wales was a rural country with a population of only 500,000. But slate quarrying and lead mining and copper mining transformed Wales into the great industrial nation that it became in the Victorian era. The Isle of Anglesey became famous because of the Paris Mountain, which at one time was the largest copper mine in all of the world.
But it's slow progress, so Rogers decided it's quicker to walk.
Now then.
Go on, go straight up, Fred.
Yeah, right, what we'll do now, I think if we take the van off, shove it down that hole there, we'll go exploring the mountains at light engine.
Just
You know,
with
'cause-
the engine?
Yeah, because we might end up
All
somewhere
right.
where we can't turn it round, you know. Any rain, you can chuck a car in there and it disintegrates.
Disintegrate.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that down there. Yeah, we'll leave the engine here and go and have a look over the edge. Oh, blimey, that's a fur hole, isn't it? We've shifted a ton or two out of there, eh?
It's a bloody big hole there,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
You see where an old tunnel there,
Yeah,
looks of it.
Yeah, I wonder if, like, well, they've obviously open casted it. But,
Yeah. Well, I believe partly collapsed
Yeah.
and partly home cast.
well, sides have fell in
Yeah,
there.
charger fell in, yeah.
Yeah,
They're all different colours.
yeah, like a lunar landscape, innit? Yeah, yeah. Let's go and see if we can find an engine. There's an engine house somewhere on this site. Seen it from down below, you know. Come on, we'll go and have a look. Come on, Roger. Yes.
Good afternoon.
You all right?
Hi, Fred. Nice to meet
Come
you.
have a look at your pumping house.
Yeah, it's one of the oldest in Wales, this we believe.
Yeah. At least the masonry's still here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's holding down now. Since they did the work with the Welsh Mines Preservation Trust, it's really consolidated. It can't be deteriorating anymore now.
They left you the holding down bolts, didn't they?
That's right. It'd be nice to get the engine back again, but probably scrapped long ago, I suppose.
Made into knives and forks about 27 times, you know.
How long have they been mining on this site?
Well, if we're going back almost 4,000 years to start with,
As you know of?
as we know of, we've discovered stone tools, artefacts underground, and we've dated that from the timber and charcoal that we've found. And then the main start of the mining operations here, 1768, that's when the great discovery came about. And the story goes that March the 2nd, 1768, after 4 years of searching on the mountain.
6 weeks before they were due to give up.
Yeah.
That's right.
Lots of good tales about mining like that.
Yeah.
Just before they were giving up.
Then it became one of the biggest in the world, or the biggest in
That's
the world.
right.
There's 85 shafts on the site.
Really?
3,000 people employed here. Amlwch was the biggest town in Wales at the time, and they had fires all over the mountain as they were smelting. And it was said to
See
be
all the
a really,
red stuff everywhere.
the reds, that's the remains of the smelters.
Yeah.
It was very successful, and it was run by a man called Thomas Williams from the other side of Anglesey, who became a major entrepreneur in the early stages of the Industrial Revolution. And he not only mined here, he got the smelters as well, and when he'd smelted the copper, he made it into sheet, or he made it into blanks, and he delivered it to people who needed it. He ran a whole concern all the way from primary production to sale almost to the end user.
He became known as the Copper King, and this was his Copper Kingdom.
The copper from Parry's Mountain was made into sheets and would then go to a copper spinners like this. There are not many of them left now, but Fred found one when he was in the East Midlands a bit earlier on his grand tour.
Here we are. We've come to witness the ancient art of metal spinning that Mr. Hopkins is. In the olden days, you know, they used to make everything metal spun, like pots and pans and all that sort of thing, and lampshades and all, and here, like they do traction engine chimney top and cones for Spitfires. I bet there's not a great demand for them, really. Morning, Geoffrey.
Morning, Fred. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm all right, yeah.
Morning.
We've come to have a look at your wonderful metal spinning operation.
Oh, yes, yeah.
No, I've done a little bit of metal spinning myself. And I got this boot, do-it-yourself metal spinning. You know, and I got a pile of disasters. And in the end, I actually gave up and went seeing a proper metal spinner. And he made it look so easy, you know.
When we've learnt young lads, I think it's 3 to 5 years before they're proficient at doing most of the work that comes in. I mean, you know, OK, a few days on one particular job and you've learnt it, that's it, you know. But then the next job is another challenge, and the next job after that is another challenge. But say, at the moment, we've got an Evelyn top on, so if you want to come and have a look at him, he's going to start spinning it. We put soap on, put oil on, and then gently move the metal. You can't force the metal.
No,
it won't go. It just wrinkles up.
Yeah.
You've literally got to
Bit at once.
to move the metal along and sort of stroke it along. And it's got to be a fairly gentle action, because if you get too hard, you literally open the grain of the metal and tear through it.
It makes it look so easy.
Well, yes, it's made a lot of them, like, you know, over the years. You just get used to it.
Does he have to use a lot of pressure?
Yes. I think that's one of the difficulties. I think when you're learning, particularly on hot days and everything, you know, you really put some pressure on the side of your body. Just trimming the edge through, and any surplus metal, just trimming that off now.
Yeah, that's where I was going wrong when I was playing after the door.
Yeah.
Good, that, isn't it?
Aye.
It isn't hot at all. It just warms a little, gets a little bit of heat on it.
Done a lovely job, hasn't he? Done a good job there, mate.
Not short bottom off now.
Yeah, then we produce the top piece, and the two halves are literally joined together, and we roll one over the other. So that's that one. If you want to, come and have a go on the one we've got.
Have a bit of a go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a smaller one than that
Yes,
one.
a bit smaller. Fred. On the steel tool, it'll make it a bit easier.
Yeah.
Bit of a start, that's him.
Yeah, right.
Hang on to the peg, Fred. Hang on to the peg, that's him. That's off you go. Not too hard. Keep it stroking, keep stroking it out.
Yeah, we're getting better, aren't we?
You're getting better now, Fred. You're getting order for these at the rate we're going.
Good job it's not a candlestick. Candle will be like that.
And we'll just put a bit of soap on, and we'll take that edge over now. If you want to move round another, that's him. I'll just take the edge over now. That's it, job done.
Who can we give that to?
And that's it.
Right, you got the chimney, now we got to go home and make the rest of the engine.
Yeah. Right, it's tea time, we should have mastered it.
It's a good one.
We'll have a go in shed when we get home, really.
That's lovely, that, isn't it?
Right.
First class, that, Fred.
I do like that.
Knock us a set of candlesticks up.
Yeah, all right.
And there it is, finely spun copper. The engine is full of shining copper and brasswork, all made in this way and all mined from places like Parry's Mountain. Back in Anglesey, it's time for a chat about the mining.
Right, Fred, these are the photographs I was talking about earlier when we were up on the mine.
Yeah.
Just a few here. Brian, my colleague here, has got a terrific number of photographs and has really spent years and years researching up there. So this just shows you the main drainage mine level that we've got.
Some first stalactites and stalagmites in
That's
there.
right, yeah. These ladders that we use in underground are the original ladders from around about 1840, and they're still in good nick.
You can still climb up.
Because of this water.
Yeah, we use those every night we go down. We'll be going down tonight to use the same ladders.
It's amazing when you think of these miners walking 2 miles to the mine and going down almost 1,000 feet, you know, doing 8-hour day, then coming up again 1,000 feet and then back home.
Thinking about it,
And then working a small holding, perhaps, or going fishing. Well, the ladies there, the couple ladies, they worked a 12-hour day. You know, sort of kneeling in front of a knockstone, breaking the ore.
Well, Alf was saying he's been a coal miner, and out of all the mining activity he's seen, he'd still prefer to be a coal miner. It was an easier job than any of these lads.
Yeah. It was preferable to be working where you could see roof just above your head than looking up from one of them levels and you can't see nothing.
Yeah.
It's so high, you know, which is a bit frightening, that. To me, anyway.
What's going to come flying out of the sky, do
Only
you?
a little bit falling a long way.
Well, they had
don't
men
they?
on big ladders, didn't they, with hammers, you know.
Well, that's the other thing, looking up in the sky. One place I went in, there was 40-foot ladders still in there, with planks strung across. And they'd be working on them with drilling machines, hammers and you name it. So, no, I prefer coal mining every day.
Yeah, you know, it's a bit more time in getting squashed.
Michael Faraday came there, because most of the intelligentsia, I suppose, came to Amlot to have a look at the mines. And he was taken underground, and they had him kitted out in flannel clothes to absorb the sweat and the wet. Because going down the shafts, well, the pumps were going, they were all leaking. So he's being sprayed, every fathom down. And anyway, he got into one of the great stopes, and he could see these little lights sort of flickering like little fairies everywhere, you know. And anyway, he sat down. He was given a barrel to sit on, and he plonked his candle down on this, and he realised it was a gunpowder barrel. So, you know, the miners didn't seem to care a great deal.
Would have been a quick way up out of the mine.
Oh, it wouldn't have been shot out like a cannon.
What really fascinated me were the bloody beautiful colours of all the top of the hill, like, you know, bloody orange, purple, yellow, red, every colour you can think of, all really lovely.
If a lady comes from Greece every year and she collects all these samples of the colours and takes them back and paints with them.
Yeah.
She just grinds them up and uses them as a paint medium.
Yeah, time to go there. Setting sun, just after rain.
Yeah.
Ah, colours so vivid,
I should
beautiful.
imagine.
As well as copper, North Wales was also the centre of the slate industry. From Anglesey, Fred is heading for the Welsh Slate Museum at Llanberis to see the workshops there. But first he's got to find somewhere to park the engine, so he's making a little detour to the Festiniog Railway, which was built to transport slate from Festiniog to the sea at Portmadoc.
Looking well today, Jack. All right. This is a nice one, isn't it? 1891. Cool down.
Hello, Fred. Welcome to the Festiniog Railway.
Hello. How are you, mate? All right.
Very well, yes, very well.
Yeah. I wonder how much of the engine is like original.
Well, that's always an interesting question, isn't it? We think the boiler is.
Yeah.
We think that's 113 years old.
Yeah.
Don't know. Does that make it the oldest one in Britain, do you reckon?
I reckon it's getting a bit that way, yeah. No doubt it'll have had a bit of treatment, like, but it's, most of it, boiler barrel will be original, maybe.
Well, this ended up in Surrey in the late 1960s. Some chap bought it, a guy called Bernard Latham.
Yeah.
And he took it and put it in his back garden in Surrey.
Yeah.
And goodness knows what the neighbours thought.
Yeah.
And he brought it here in the early 90s. And since then we've been looking after it.
But it never thought it'd end up back in its in its old hunting grounds,
Yeah, and moving slate wagons around as well.
Yeah. Them are interesting in themselves, aren't they? I mean, when you think that thousands and thousands of tons of slates that them have moved to the rooftops of the world.
Well, I'll tell you what, Fred, would you like to come with us down to our works and have a look at where we restore them?
It would be a pleasure.
Right, on your foot.
Go on. It runs nice, doesn't it? Nice and sweet.
Yeah, it's not bad. The wheel profile, the profiles of the wheels are starting to get a bit old and worn. So we'll need to have a go at that this winter as well. This is one which is...
Oh, yeah. And the new offspring.
Yeah, it's only 3 weeks old.
Whoa. Hello.
Having fun?
Oh, yeah. Easier than working this, messing about, you know.
See you later. Right then, Fred, I've got the token.
Right, what shall I do with this?
Well, as long as we don't lose it, we're on. It doesn't roll very well, even though we're going downhill. The bearings need a bit of a sort out.
How many miles long is your railway?
13.5 miles, this one.
Yeah.
It's a fair run. It takes a good hour to do it each way. Just coming down now towards the 1 mile long embankment right across the estuary.
Is that a new bit, or is it the...
that was built in 1836. It's how the railway started, was transporting stuff across there. What it did, it cut the sea off from the land behind it, and it's created more farming land.
Yeah.
So in a place like North Wales where farming land's at a premium, then this made the chap who built it quite a bit of money. You can see there the old cliffs over there, and they've got trees growing on them now.
Now we're coming to a tunnel.
This is a replacement bridge that was built in the 1960s, this one. Thanks, Bob.
The Festiniog Railway was an industrial railway built to transport slate. Today, it's a tourist attraction carrying holidaymakers through the Snowdonia National Park. And the restoration and maintenance of the engines is done here at the Boston Lodge Works.
Of course, this is one of the Festiniog Railway's single fairley locomotives.
Yeah, like half a one, like.
Yeah, it's half a one. You can see the bogie there that sails on the front is powered, and the one at the back is underpowered. It's very smooth engine, very smooth riding. It's built in the 1870s, and by 1930 it was completely worn out, and they scrapped it. So all that was left was the chimney and the reversing lever.
And you started from that?
Started from that. This is our newest engine, but round the corner here is Prince, which is the oldest working steam engine in the world. It dates back to 1863. And when the railway closed in 1946, there was a new boiler for this one in the workshops. So when the revivalists came along to reopen the line, here was a new boiler just waiting to go. So this was the first engine running. Because of that, it has a very special place in Festiniog Railway history. Last year we were opening a new section of our Welsh Highland Railway from Winevower up to Rydvee on the south side of Snowdon, and we took this engine over there to open that new section. And Prince Charles came along and actually drove this engine and made his day having a bit of a drive with it.
Royal connections, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
And now there's some work to be done, and a chance for Fred to do some driving.
So then, Fred, we said it was all about moving slate about, and here you are, an authentic Festiniog Railway slate train. It's all yours, Fred.
Are the wagons full?
Hi, they are. Now, you've got a speedometer up there, Fred. Anywhere between 10 and 15. It's like modern luxury, eh? A speedometer. Well, I don't know about you, Fred, but I reckon that's one of the finest views you can get from a footplate.
Beautiful, yeah. Like Lawrence of Arabia, you know, running. You have to slow down at the bend and just leave it.
Well, it's a 15-mile-an-hour limit on the bend, so and we're only doing 14, so we're fine. Now, whenever you see a W sign, you know what to do, don't you?
No.
Blow the whistle.
All right.
You can see a red light, but we're just going onto a track circuit. When that detects us, it will set the station up for us and it will give us a green light. So it should change at any minute.